Speaking of trauma, did y'all see that girl in that interview where they were talking about like having your kid? I think I sent that to one of y'all, if I'm not mistaken, but it was deep. They were talking, it was a panel of adults, and they were all like parents, I believe, and they were talking about like, should your kids be your best friend or something? Something crazy along that line.
Oh, and the girl got up and she spoke. The teenage girl got up and spoke. I seen that.
She said a mighty word, man. She said a mighty word. It really. Now y'all gonna laugh at me. This is probably the most sensitive thing.
I feel two ways about that, but go ahead.
This is probably the most sensitive thing I'm gonna say ever in life. But she really made me discover that I had some trauma that I never knew. I used to just put it back there and never just worry about it.
For sure,
you know what I'm saying?
We all do,
men don't talk.
I took away two things from that little girl.
What?
And I'm going to try to paraphrase this for the audience because they need to know what we're talking about. There was a panel of instructors, and when the clip comes on, they're talking about parenting and being friends with your kids.
Right.
And they ask the audience, do you want to be friends with your parents? And this girl gets up and she speaks and she says, I can talk to my mom, and I got friends in school that can't talk to their mom. And she said, your parents always make you feel like a burden when they say things to you like, I can't afford that, or, I can't get you that, or she brought out a lot of great points that I could see, but I could also understand that at 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, as a child, until you actually experience adulthood, you really don't get the depth of what your parents are telling you or why they're telling you. Like, your brain can't fathom what your parent is saying. So when she said that, when a parent says to the child, I can't afford that, it makes the child feel like a burden. And I can't say that it's wrong for that child to feel that way, but that child also has to understand that that parent is being transparent in that moment.
Right.
And because of the way my budget or my finances is, it's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't care about you, but I provided you with food, shelter, and clothes. I can't get you the extras.
But see, that wasn't the only thing she was saying, though.
What else
because she was saying, like, how parents be like, I had a life before you. And this is where my shit came in at, because my mama used to always say that shit to me. Before you came, I had a life. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, is it because of me you ain't happy or what? Very
What's the
true,
context
though.
of I had a life before you?
Why even say that, though? You know what I'm saying? Why even say that to a kid? Like, oh, I had this and this and this, and then you came along. That does make you feel like, hey, I'm a fucking burden, because at the end of the day, you were happy. You're not supposed to tell a kid that, though.
But do you
know
feel like that at 30?
Yes, at the end of the day. I know that shit sounds crazy,
I agree with that
but
jargon.
yes.
I just don't know what was the context of that. Like, is our parents literally saying, yo, I had a whole life before you? I've said plenty of times, like, hey, before you, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of things, but I don't regret having. I love you. I tell my kid that all the time. Like, it just is what it is, and I wouldn't wish. That's what I tell her about sex. I wouldn't wish you having a child so young. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to have to go through that. I love you, and you're the greatest thing that ever happened to me, but I wouldn't want nobody else to go through something like that so young. And I can understand if my daughter heard me say that and say, damn, did I mess his life up? Nah, that's why I try to reinforce it. Like, you didn't mess my life up. To be honest with you, Johnny, that was like my happiest moment. Like, I don't ever, like, those 9 months of my daughter's mom being pregnant was some of the happiest moments of my life.
Right.
All the way to the point where she was born. This is the best thing that ever happened to me, literally. I realize I'm adult enough to realize I missed out on a whole bunch of shit, but I wouldn't do it any other way. Yeah. But for her, I wouldn't want her to have to. I don't know what that looks like for her. I don't know what she'll miss, because honestly, being a parent young,
she went through the same thing you went
it comes with missing opportunities. It comes with not pursuing dreams. Hey, you want to be this? Well, if a kid comes along, it's going to be 10 times harder to do that. Man, and you don't want to have to take the hard road to get to your goals. You want to be able to take the easy road. That's what I wish for my child.
The only reason why I felt that little girl is because at the end of the day, I came up in a similar situation. I got nothing but love for my mom, but my mom didn't know how to raise a man. And she tried to raise me with tough love, and that shit did not work. How do you sit here and try to be a dad to a son that needs the mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
supposed to be able to go to your mom about anything.
Right.
That's one thing I've never felt. I've never felt like I can go to my mom about anything. My mom, bruh, you know how I condemn you? I get that from my mama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
now
I know that
see where
shit.
it's coming from.
You know what I'm saying? I know that
That's
shit's
all you
fucked
know.
up, but nigga,
That's how you
bruh,
know.
anything that I would bring my mom, nigga, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Off the rip. It wasn't nothing I could do to let her know, like, hey, I was in the right, or I did this and I stand on this side. No, I was always on the
Right.
You know what I'm
But you're
saying?
at a point now where you can see the good intention that she had.
I mean,
Or that she, she was trying.
But
She
that's
was
what he's
trying.
saying. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he's saying. He do understand, but at the same time, it wasn't. He's saying it wasn't the proper way to go about things.
bruh,
Right.
It will be
But
times.
she didn't know that.
It will be times where I was 100% right. You could never tell her that. You could never say, "Oh, he was right in this situation." No, I was always the wrong one.
Right.
Always. And that shit is crazy, bro, coming up. Because now being 30 sometimes, and I get like this little anxiety. If I don't do something, then something along the way is going to happen, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for it. Like, my fear is getting in trouble for something. You know what I'm saying? That's trauma, dog.
Yeah, you
that
right.
shit that stems from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shit's crazy, bro. She probably didn't even know like all of this.
You
but
talked to her about it before?
nigga, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And
How'd
she denies
feel?
it.
What, she
denies
denies it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
older people not going.
But either way it go, I still love my mom. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely some issues there that I gotta address because, nigga, I've been going through life thinking that I'm gonna get in trouble by some outside entity, and it ain't nobody but myself.